What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video on Buy Sell Cars TV. Today I'm over in Walsall, so I've come to pick up another Renault Clio. Yes, it is similar to the car I picked up a couple of weeks ago, but this is a 5-door car and it's got a pan roof, so it's good to have a little bit of variety. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to head inside, give you guys a walkthrough of the collection process at this auction house. So getting the keys, checking out the car, etc. Then once we've taken the car back to base, we're going to have to go through getting a couple of things rectified on this car. Hopefully not too much, hopefully not the clutch like we did on the other one, but it's going to need an MOT, it's probably going to need a service as well, getting it valeted the usual. So we'll get into all of that later in the video and show you the full process of getting a car ready from the auction. So let's head inside now. Alright, so we've got to scan a little QR code to get the car. Renault Clio, that's us. Just letting us know where the car is going to be located, so we'll figure it out shortly. Collect key. Lovely jubbly. Let's go find the car. So this is what would have used to have been the old auction hall, where the cars would have been coming through. People over here, auctioneers over there, and the cars have been coming through this little bit here, like a conveyor system, driving in and driving back out. So a little bit sad to see it's not in action anymore, but you get an idea of what this place used to be like. So this is the way to the location of where all the cars are kept. I'm guessing behind here is probably where they do a bit of preparation on some of the other cars with the condition reports, but things have definitely changed since COVID, shall I say. But that's how things go. Times change, things have to adapt, things move on, and now this is how we're buying cars, completely blind from auction halls. Alright, so collection area 2, collection area 2, collection area 2, so collection area 1 must be around this way. There we go, collection area 1 is in this direction. It is a little bit of a maze when you come around these places sometimes. It's been a while since I've come to Walsall, but I'm actually going to be back here in a couple of days because I'm picking up a car which I just won on the way here. So you're going to get to see a video on that car as well. I've spotted it. I've spotted something over here. I can see a pan roof. So this is the car in question which I've come to collect. Renault Clio 1.4 in a nice dark blue, but it's got a pan roof. That's not something you see often on these cars. Condition wise, it doesn't actually look too bad. Just having a quick walkthrough from the exterior, it obviously is dirty, it's hard to tell, there's a lot of salt on the roads at the moment, but you get a little bit of an idea. A couple of light scratches over here, a little parking dink over there. Tyres as well, they look reasonably in good condition. It was a grade 3 report car, so it is in reasonable condition, shall I say. 2006 car, 119-ish thousand miles, I think. Pretty similar to what I bought the other day, so you get an idea of how it's looking at the moment. But let's jump inside, let's open the bonnet, see how things are looking under there, because we've got to check the oil, check the water before we get going. So let's get on with that now. Alright, that is looking nice and clean. Someone's definitely spent a bit of time cleaning this, so that could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. So water and oil look okay at the moment, so that's a positive. Let's jump in, let's get the car started, and let's see what we're working with. Alright, so we've got the ignition on. Lights have gone off, we've just got the engine light and handbrake light on, that's off as well. Lights are on, let's go for it. Oil is okay, got a little bit of fuel as well. Engine sounds pretty good, no misfire. Let's give it a little rev. Car is sounding healthy so far, so let's let this warm up and run, and I'm going to give you a walkthrough of the rest of the car now. So on first impressions of looking at the front of the car, the point which you can note is the seat has got quite a bit of stainage. Very similar actually to the red Clio which I bought the other week, and in all honesty, because it is a lighter interior, we may not be able to make this perfect, but it definitely will be a lot better than how it's looking at the moment. The carpet over there, again, mat's a little bit old, but in general, in terms of the actual upholstery down here, I think it's looking okay. Just needs a good old hoover, nothing which the valet guys won't be able to deal with. Around here, what have we got? We've got a lot of crumbs, looks like some remnants of an old crossing potentially. Nothing that's going to worry us. Over around here, what have we got? Got a little bit of peeling, bit of cracking over here. Passenger seat is looking a lot better than the driver's seat, as you would expect, because it doesn't get as much use. But still, if we're valeting this side, we're obviously going to valet the rest of the seats as well, because we don't want there to be a bit of a mismatch. And there are still a couple of little stain marks over here as well, so we'll get all that sorted in due time. Bit of paperwork on the floor there, which we'll run through shortly, just to see what we've got. Let's check the rears out as well, because this is a 5-door car compared to the red one, which was a 3-door, meaning makes my life a bit easier when I got to show you the rears. So having a quick look, again, you can see it is in pretty good condition, if I'm honest. There is not a lot of work that needs to be done to bring this car to a good standard, so for that 40-50 quid valet, which I do get done, will make a bit of a difference, because it's not too bad to start with, and it is a lighter interior, so if it's nice and clean, it's going to look nice and vibrant and appealing. So that's a positive. Now, I'm going to be taking a bit of a risk doing this for you guys, because I've had this in the past. I bought an old 7 Series, opened the sunroof, and luckily it was a sunny day because the sunroof wouldn't close. So we're going to give it a go, even though we've got a 100-mile journey home. All right, so far things are looking good. Oh, that is wicked. That is wicked. On a car like this, to see a pan roof like that, that is going to be, you know what, this is going to be an easy car to sell. Okay, now let's try and close it. Oh God. Oh no. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. It's getting a bit stuck somewhere. Come on, let's give it a push. Come on, come on. Ah. Oh. Right, let's try again. No, stop there. Come on. Come on. Come on, you can do it. Come on, come on. Yes. Thank God for that. Right, let's go through some of the paperwork then. So we've got a logbook, which is always good to have, and it has got one former keeper, and the lady has owned it since 2022. So the first owner had this car for pretty much 16 years. I found a little receipt in here as well. So when the current owner purchased his car, so in 2022, now you can see she paid $1,495 for this car from, I guess, a used car dealer on the 1st of April 2022. Now, this is the good thing about used cars. If you look after them, they don't really depreciate anymore. Once they've got to this bottom price of sort of $14.95, they don't really depreciate. It's been 2 years now, and I probably will get the same money, if not a little bit more, for what this person paid for this car. And then we've got a couple of just receipts over here, just to do with the coil spring replaced, the labour involved in an MOT, as well as just some previous old MOTs. So unfortunately, we haven't got any service history. However, we still have a logbook, we have 2 keys, and some history, which is better than none. So anyway, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get the trade plates put on, get this car taken back, because there are a couple of things which we do need to address, and as much as I would like to go for a first drive now, we're losing a bit of light. So I'm going to get this car taken back. We'll pick up the video tomorrow when we drop it over to the mechanics, because it's going to need an MOT as it's running a little bit short. It's only got a couple of months on there, so I like to put a fresh 12 months on there, and at the same time we'll get the car serviced, because it hasn't got a record of any service history in here. Being a 2-owner car and the first owner having it for 16 years, I'm sure the car has been serviced, but if it's not there, we've got to get it done. So I'm going to get heading back, and then we're going to pick this video up tomorrow when we're on the way to the mechanics, and I'll talk you through the first drive. So stay tuned, guys. Okay, so fast forward now a couple of days on the Renault Clio. So how's it going so far? Well, the good news is, obviously, I got the car taken back to the office with no problems at all. It was a long drive back, like 120 miles or so. So I got a good feel for the car, and I'm glad to say it's driving as it should. Very, very smooth, very nice. The clutch and gearbox feels great. No unusual knocks from any of the suspension or steering. So again, massive positive at this point and at this age of car as well. So drivability wise, we're looking good. So as I touched on earlier, there were a couple of things that we did need to address on the car, and that was getting it MOT'd and getting it serviced. Now, my gut tells me that the car has been serviced, because if I look at the onboard computer, the service light has been reset, and it says it's due in 17,297 miles. However, because we haven't got a record for that, we can't just assume that it's been done, because in reality, especially with these Clios, you can just reset the service light from the car. So you just go through the menu and you hold it down for like 5 or 10 seconds and it resets it. As much as I would like to think that it has been serviced, I couldn't take that risk. So I got a minor service done on the car. Peace of mind that it's going to be done and it's right for the next customer. Whilst it was there as well, we got it MOT. Now the MOT on the car was running short. It only had a couple of months left, so it's well worth topping it up, because when you do come to sell it, it'll make a difference. It's a peace of mind, and you'll know a bit more about the car as well. So when you are selling it, you can give a better description and confidence into the person who's looking to buy it. So got it MOT'd, passed straight away with just one advisory. So there is an ever so slight oil leak coming from the car. Very, very minor. And in all honesty, at this age and at this mileage, you're going to expect little things like that. As long as it's not, you know, throwing oil out of the car, a little seepage, in my opinion, is not end of the world when a car is this age and done this many miles. So I'm not concerned about that. But other than that, there's not a lot I can say about this car. It's driving very, very well. It's now got 12 months MOT and it's been serviced. So far, in terms of the preparation, things are going really well. I'm actually on the way now to the Valeters, so I've got to get this car dropped off there and then quickly to this train station, because I'm jumping on to go back to Walsall, believe it or not, to pick up a Kia Picanto, which you're going to see a video of that anyway, probably next week or the week after. So let me get this one dropped off to the Valeters, and then we'll pick up this video once everything's completed on this car and it's ready for sale, so you get to see the before and afters, because it's going to look a hell of a lot nicer than how it's looking at the moment. So we'll pick up the video then, go through all the costings, how much I paid for the car, how much money got spent on the car, and then we can look at the potential profit margins to be made. So stay tuned, guys. Right, so we've got the car back from the Valeters on a lovely day where the sun is beaming down and you can see that blue paint really shining through. So let me give you a quick walk through the exterior again, just to show you how the car is looking after it's been cleaned up. Of course, when we get the cars valeted, realistically on the exterior, nothing drastic gets done other than your standard getting the car washed, a bit of tyre shine, etc. There are times where the car does need a bit of polish, but again, age, value, etc. But even still, for a 2006 car, you can see it is looking in fantastic condition. Even over on the passenger side, it is looking very, very nice and clean. Nothing too different from what we saw earlier, other than obviously just slicking the tyres and getting the car looking nice and clean. But from this shot, where the sun is shining down on the car, you can see it looks fantastic. And on a day like today, we've got that pan roof open, whilst we've got a little bit of sunshine out. But that's the exterior. Let's show you the interior, where we've had the major transformation done on this car. So let's do that now. Right, so going into the interior, you can really see the transformation that this car has had from how it was looking previously. It was very, very stained, and the trouble is, because it's a light colour of upholstery, it's hard to make it perfect. Even in the rears, you can see the seats are looking nice and clean. I know we've got a lot of sun shining through, so it's harder to pick up some of those things, but you get an idea of how the car is looking in the current state after being valeted. But I'll make sure I'll pop up some clips of how it was looking before, so you get a comparison in this moment. And even down here on the carpets, it wasn't too bad to begin with. Just needed a bit of a hoover. As we saw before, there were a lot of crumbs, maybe some old croissants or something, I don't know, but been hoovered up, been cleaned up, and it is looking a lot better. A little bit of dirty seas probably come from today. Hopefully that gives you an idea of the interior and exterior on this car. So now you've seen the transformation involved to get this car ready for sale. So now let's go through all of those and talk about the costings involved. So how much did the car cost me? Well, I paid good money for this car. The reason being, it's two owners, it had the pan roof. Those things stood out to me, so I thought I'm going to pay a bit more than what I would normally pay. The hammer price off this was £400. It was exactly the same price what I paid for the previous Renault Clio, which I bought about 2 weeks ago. Still got that one in stock actually, so that one hasn't sold just yet. But as I said earlier, good to have a bit of variety. So with the fees, the total cost of this car was £603 from the auction. Now, of course, there are the travel costs involved as well. So your train fare, your taxi, putting a bit of fuel in the car as well to bring it back home. So got to factor those things in. All in all, that comes to around £60 for those costs involved. Then bringing the car back, we had to get a couple of things done as we've spoken about. So had to get the car MOT'd and had to get the car serviced. MOT is £40 and the oil change on this was 80 quid. So costs are definitely starting to add up on this car. And the last thing which we had to get done for the prep, my favourite part, was getting the car valeted. And this time round, it only cost me £30. The reason being, yes, the seats did need a clean, but the rears, for example, weren't in a bad state. So the guy who I work with over at the Valeters, he took care of me on this one and said, you know, it's fine, £30 will do the job for this one. So that gives you an idea of all the costs involved in this car, but I'll pop onto the screen right now to give you a total cost of how much everything has cost from buying the car to where we are now. So you get an idea of the total cost involved up until the point of getting advertised. So then, speaking of advertising, how much am I going to be looking to advertise this car for? Now, I've got another Renault Clio, very similar car, similar mileage, etc. Spec isn't as great, but the service history is impeccable, so it's better on that front. That's up at 17.95, and I haven't sold that as of yet. So price wise, I'm thinking this car is going to be similar, maybe just a tad below because the service history isn't as good. But as I said, obviously spec wise, we've got a panoramic roof, which is such a nice thing to have on a car like this. So price wise, we're looking around that. So margin wise, probably around 800 quid, 900 pound. But again, I'll pop up on the screen to give you an exact idea of difference between the potential sale price to how much everything has cost us. So you'll get an idea of the margins involved in this car. Of course, you've got your advertising costs involved as well, but they're normally around 20 odd quid. But everything will get popped on the screen, so you get a breakdown to show you the potential margin involved in this car. Hopefully that's given you a good insight into this car, into the process of collecting something from BCA Walsall as well. I like to show you guys as much as possible when I can, where I can. So hopefully that's come through on this video. But on that note, guys, I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much again for watching. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'm going to see you on the next one. Take care, guys.